You're at the start line with a couple hundred other runners. Everyone there is trained. Everyone is prepared, and everybody is a little nervous. The countdown hits 0, the gun goes off, and within a couple minutes, the front of the pack's already long gone. They went up that first climb like mountain goats. And pretty quickly, you realize something. You're not racing them. You're running your own race. And for most of us in ultra running, that race happens somewhere in the middle of the pack. Welcome to the UltraNurse Podcast. This is where we run long and work even longer. I'm your host, Brad, a flight nurse, paramedic, dad of 3, and a mid-of-the-pack ultra runner trying to figure this whole endurance thing out 1 mile at a time. This podcast is about running, especially running long, while balancing shift work, family, and everything else that comes with real life. All right, when you look at most, well, hold on. We got to discuss something here first. The weather here in Dubuque, Iowa is criminal. Old man winter needs to go to prison for a long time. We all knew it was going to happen. We really did, but come on, man. We had a good stretch of like 60-degree weather here, and it was all fine and dandy. All the trails were in nice shape. And then all of a sudden, bam, blizzard. March 15th, 16th. What day is it? I don't know, but it's the middle of March. Bang, blizzard. It's like 15 degrees out again. Snowed 6 inches or something here. It was like a complete whiteout this morning. I actually did my VO2 max run and the tail end of it. It was kind of fun, actually, to be honest with you. But no, it's just wild. And then I think tomorrow night we're supposed to get another 3 inches. Then it's going to warm up. So hopefully it's the last one. I even left my shovels in the garage. I thought about putting them away, and I'm like, no, I'm going to weave off the evil spirits, ward off evil spirits. Didn't work. It is what it is. Before you know it, it'll be June, and it'll be hot and humid, but whatever. It's tough goings here in Dubs. So pray for us. Old man winter, man, he needs to go to prison, though. Anyways. All right. So back on point here, or whatever. I say that a lot too. All right, let's get on with this. All right. So one thing that always stood out to me at these ultra races is the start line. It's a unique environment, right? It's just got that different vibe than a 5K starting line. It's just, you look around, because I'm a people watcher. You look around and you're just kind of, you'll be chatting it up. But mostly I'm a big observer there, right? Because I'm usually shitting bricks because I think I didn't do, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't train accordingly. And this is, no, everything's, yeah. So I'm never confident whatsoever at a starting line. I'm usually like scared and anxious and whatever. But you look around, right? And you got different sorts of people there. Like there's some that are like completely dialed in, right, and focused. They look absolutely incredible, like machines, right? Then you got others that are joking around, laughing. You got people there that are double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking their gear, adjusting their packs. Some of them are eating like, they're still carb loading with donuts and bananas and whatever, like 2 minutes before the race. And then it begins. And then within the first mile or two, the fast runners disappear. They're gone, long gone, and then, the next few miles, the race starts settling in for a lot of us. You start running next to different people. You talk for a few miles. You hear where they're from. You hear what races you've done, what they've done, what races you've done, your accolades, your injuries, how your training's been, right? You find out where they work, you find out how many kids they had, their family, sometimes their life story, right? Sometimes you find out the battles that they faced, addictions, whatever, their lows, you get to the aid stations, there's people laughing, you're eating grilled cheese, drinking Coke. And that's when you realize something is that the middle of the pack has this unique energy to it. People are still pushing themselves, but a lot of them are enjoying the experience. And it's a pretty cool place to run in, to be honest with you. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to make a disclaimer. I really don't care. I really don't. All right. Because I really don't care about comments or hate. I get a lot of hate in every aspect of my life, but I just want to make something clear. This episode and what I'm talking about isn't meant to take away from any other part of the field. Elite athletes are incredible. Elite runners are incredible athletes. The discipline and training and skill it takes to run at that level is inspiring, and like sometimes I'm in awe of, right? And the dedication, the dedication is amazing. And then the runners that are grinding it out late in the race, the DFLers, I call them dead beat blast. Those people that are chasing cutoffs, those are some of the toughest people on the planet. Utmost respect. Everyone out there, the elites, the mid of the pack, and the DFLers, we're all out there. We're pushing themselves in our own ways, right? So when I wrote this is simply about the reality of where a lot of runners find themselves in my observations in the races that I've done. Somewhere in the mid of the pack, okay? So what does it actually mean? Now, when I talk about a mid of the pack in ultra running, I'm talking about a group of runners in the middle of the pack, duh. But no, we're not in the front of the race. We're not chasing podiums, all right? But we're also not runners that are fighting cutoffs for the most part. Sometimes it happens, a bad race, but we're just somewhere in the middle. We're all solid runners, right? Solid runners who train consistently, and we show up ready to challenge ourselves. And if you look at most ultras, a large portion of the field falls somewhere in the middle range in a good majority of ultras out there. And that means the middle of the pack is where a lot of day-to-day experience of ultra running happens. Now, I wrote a list because there's certain disadvantages and advantages, I think, to being a mid of the pack ultra runner. So we'll start out with the disadvantages first, because I'm a glass half full guy now, baby, and I want to end with the good. But okay, so disadvantage of being mid of the pack ultra runner. You know you're not going to win the race, right? Dude, no matter how hard I train and eat and lay it down in training and do everything right, I know when I line up for the Minds of Spain 100, no matter what I do, I know I am most likely not going to win that race. It's a different feeling. That's a disadvantage. I'm never going to win a race, right? Unless I start the Brad Salt 100 and I'm the only one invited. But no, I'm not probably standing on the podium. It's just a reality. Another reality is the sport is expensive. It is an expensive sport. I find it funny that some people go into it and they're like, oh, it's just shoes. It's just shoes and some shorts running. Yeah, right. Yeah. You'll be buying a new pair of shoes every other month. No matter whatever it is a pop. But no, it's an expensive sport. It truly is. And, us in the middle of the pack, we're not getting shoe deals. We're not getting free entries into the races. We are not getting our travel paid for. Our lodging is not covered, right? We're not getting sponsored by Goo or the gels, or, we're not sponsored by Hoka or the pack makers or clothing lines, right? No, we're paying for the race. We're paying for the gear. We're paying for all our nutrition. We're paying for our shoes. And it gets expensive. It really is. It's expensive. And there's just, I wrote this down, but this is going to sound really bad. I get it. It's going to sound bad. There's not a lot of glory in it, right? When you finish in the middle of the pack, there's usually not a huge crowd there. Again, this sounds really, really bad. Your family might be there, a few friends, but nobody's sitting around wondering if Brad's going to finish, right? You're not going to be on a live stream. You're just another runner crossing the finish line. It's just part of the deal. And I'm not, and most of us don't care anyways. Like I don't, but it's disadvantage. It really is. But those are the three that I came up with. Not a whole lot of disadvantages to be in the middle of the pack runner. It's a great place to be. I love it. I love my people. All right. So now let's move on to talking about the advantages of being middle of the pack. Because it's great. It's great. One of the best things is freedom. That's my Braveheart tone. I don't know why. I don't know why I am the way I am. I don't know why I do so many movie references. Like, I think last time, I think I do like Dumb and Dumber usually every other episode, like Lloyd. But no, I don't even watch movies. I seriously don't. I don't have streaming services in my house. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Amazon. I don't have none of it. I watch YouTube, and I don't even pay for the YouTube. I get the generic YouTube, and I just watch stupid race documentaries, and then it gets me to sign up for dumb races. Dang you, YouTube. But no, freedom. I'm not dealing with podium pressure, as I call it. It doesn't matter. I'm not, I don't have to go to the race thinking like I have to defend my title. Because it's not, okay. All right, back up. I am top debuter the past 2 years at the Mines of Spain 100. And I'm defending that baby this year. There's some peeps this year in it that are going to push me. I don't know. Oh, it's going to be hard, but I'm not going down without a fight. But it's going to be hard this year. But but it's just the top debuter, right? It's not overall race. So anyways, but if I don't win one of these races or I don't do good at this said race, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, my sponsors are gonna dump me, right? I'm out there. We're not trying to defend a title. We're out there to challenge ourselves, right? See what we're capable of. Another huge advantage is the camaraderie. Mid of the pack runners, we're a chatty bunch. At least I am, and the people around me, and I'll get it out of you. Sometimes I'm too chatty. I know a lot of my running friends are like, God, he doesn't shut up. Get it from my dad. It's like, oh my gosh. Remember that commercial? Remember the commercial back in the day? Where'd you learn this, son? I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from my dad. My dad won't shut up either on the trails. I love you, Dad. But nah. It's camaraderie. You meet people on the trail. You run a few miles together. You share stories, right? Your war stories. You share the suffering. How sometimes you share snacks. All right, I got to tell another story here. This is gross. It's really gross, but it's epic. It's an epic ultra story. So, and I think I heard this from my dad. My dad was pacing somebody. This was years ago. And our friend Rob, I'll leave his last name out of this. Oh my gosh. I think they were running the Arkansas Trail. I think it's what it's called, the Arkansas Trail. Yeah, I don't know, 100. And I know I was late in the race, like mile 80. Rob found I think there's bites out of it. I'm pretty sure it's a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and he ate the damn thing. It wasn't his. It was laying on the trail. Ugh. Oh my God. Whatever. Guess you need fuel, but that's gross. But yeah, you share snacks. Sometimes, and a lot of times during these things, middle of the pack, you make these friendships that last way beyond the race itself. You really do. I talked to a couple people that I've run the mines with that are not from here. There's a lot of community in the middle of the pack. And that's one of the things that makes this sport really, really special. And it's why we keep coming back. So if we ain't chasing podiums, why do we keep signing up for these races? Why do we train for months, right? Months and months and months. Why run 50 miles or 100 miles or more if you have no chance of winning them or money or fame or fortune, right? I don't know, a lot of elites will be like, dude, really? Fame, money, fortune? Yeah. But no, why do we do it? I'll tell you why. It's because it's about personal challenge, right? It's about growth. It's about seeing what you're capable of. And ultra running has a way of teaching you resilience. It has ways of teaching you patience, and it has a way of teaching you discipline. real competition, it usually isn't the runner next to you or behind you or whatever, in front of you. The real competition in ultra running is that voice in your head telling you to quit. And when you cross the finish line, the place you finished matters a lot less than the fact that you actually finished and you beat that voice in your head. Yeah. So that mindset in the middle of the pack, right? It's really the middle of the pack. You're just running. You're running for yourself. You're not running for podiums, not sponsors, but for a challenge. You're running for growth. You're running for the experience of seeing what you're capable of doing over long distances, over sometimes epic terrain and epic conditions. You know, most of us middle of the pack ultra runners, we're not going to win the race, but it doesn't make the effort any less meaningful. Because when you look at the sport as a whole, like ultra running as a whole, it's made up of all kinds of runners, right? The elites they're in the front doing absolutely insane, incredible things, pushing the limits and farther every race, right? The runners in the back battling the cutoff late in the race. I mean, talk about awe-inspiring. And then there's this large portion somewhere in the middle. That middle makes up a big part of participation in the sport. They're filling the starting lines, right? They're supporting races, volunteering, crewing, pacing. It's a big part of the community that keeps the sport moving forward. I love it. And ultra running is built by the entire community. It really is. A lot of energy, participation, stories. A lot of that lives right in the middle. It's a great place to be. That's where I am. And I will forever be, hopefully, until I'm old. And then I could maybe join the DFLers, which the DFLers are a wild bunch, man. Much love to all you guys. All right. I'm going to quit rambling on about it. Mid of the pack, number one, forever. Just kidding. If I could run elite, I would run elite. That'd be fun. I couldn't imagine dropping like 7 to 8 minute miles, like fucking out at Hard Rock or whatever. I don't even know what they do Hard Rock in, but it's crazy to see them guys running. But anyways, that's a wrap. I'll start rambling on. And, but anyways, thank you so much for spending part of your day and listening to me talk about ultra running and whatever. Whether it's part of your run, your drive, or even maybe your shit with me. If you like this episode, hit the like button, drop a comment, follow the show so you don't miss an episode. You wouldn't want to do that, people. But yeah, hit a subscribe and follow. And if you know anybody you think that would like the show, share it with them. And yeah, go out and give our socials some love, please. It helps. It really does help. We're on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Yeah, and YouTube. But hey, I appreciate the hell out of you being here and love each and every one of you. Now go rip some miles. We'll see you next week. Or wait, Friday. All right. Have a good day. Bye.